With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility.
The Panther kicker, Zane Gonzalez, has us ready to go, and we are underway here from Bank of America Stadium. This will be returned from deep in the end zone and tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
First play from scrimmage, Newton going to throw it. And his first look is incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
They go up the middle with Campbell. And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
And that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Throwing on third down, Newton. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Panthers will take over now, 1st and 10. So here are the Panthers under head coach Matt Rule. Leading this unit will be the big arm man out of Texas Tech. 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes. They'll begin the drive with Jackson on the ground. Room here to run. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards. They'll run again with Jackson. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
On second down, this is Jackson. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Toss play to Jackson. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right in the yard. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It was Jadeveon Clowney who got upfield for the stop. On the give, here comes Jackson. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Looking deep for Julio. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. This will be a 41-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Texans will take over. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
In motion, left comes Moss. From the 22, Newton. He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got a man, complete. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. 78 yards. And the Texans get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. They find some open field here. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 59 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Holding offense.
All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
Let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Now Mahomes. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Charlotte, and it's the Panthers with the football. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd down, this is Jackson. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And this Texans defense stands tall.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
Newton on 1st down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Campbell. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A give, running left is Campbell. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the 50, Newton. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There is something to a game plan. We're trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers about ready to take over. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so, but maybe because they held him, they might go for it again.
63 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. They run again with Jackson. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there. Needed 4. Mahomes throwing on 4th. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. So they take a big chance here in their own territory. And you think the coach may have some questions to answer?
Yeah, and, you know, normally we focus on the media, right? The social media barrage that he's going to get for this one. How about on his own sideline and in his locker room? Because I think the team's going to look at him like, Coach, why would we go for it there? I mean, no confidence in the defense. You don't like the punter. I mean, what's going on here? You owe us some explanations.
And he's able to get this inside the 10 down to the 9. 2nd and 3 from the 9. They'll run up the middle with Campbell. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Texans go up by 2 touchdowns. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Carolina offense about ready to go. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Drops this one off to Portis. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
When you struggle on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Right side caught by Jackson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Mahomes going to throw. And that went too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
Back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. That into a pretty tight window over the middle. And, Charles, I think they were in zone defensively, weren't they?
They certainly were. Nice read on your part. And sometimes the quarterback isn't fooled between zone and man. Sometimes just fooled by the type of zone that he sees. Because oftentimes those linebackers will vacate and run downfield with receivers. In this case, he played a pure zone and was in the wrong spot for the QB.
Throw left side here, complete to Campbell. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. On the handoff, here's Campbell. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Again, they run with Campbell. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. They'll give to the big man. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
The Panther offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think
he rifles one that's intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Give them 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called.
gonna be big time now. Come on, let's go. Let's dominate this.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This from 44 yards away. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcoming everyone to our downtown Orlando studios and this EA Sports Halftime Report. First order of business, though. Let's get a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for Houston. And the ground game has been a big part of why they have this big lead. And you have to figure they'll lean on it a little bit more in the third and fourth quarters. Each team making their final preparations for this second half. We're about ready, too, as we'll send you back up to Charlotte and rejoin Brandon and Charles at Bank of America Stadium.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Panthers going to get the football first, trailing here as well as we resume play in this second half. This is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. 20. And they are not going to catch him. He's in. Touchdown, Carolina. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get this score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Zane Gonzalez on for the extra point. And it's 17-7. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here of the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
In motion right is Smith. Now Newton on first down. Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there. Got a nice interception and set up their offense in great shape.
Second down, another carry for Jackson. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
A lot of people call the toss a probing play to see what they can get against the defense, to see how they adjust and react. Their probing's working pretty well. That was a very nice run.
On the ground, this is Jackson. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to fourth down. Gonzalez out now to try the Panther field goal. From the right hash, this a 31-yard attempt. Gonzalez's kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown at 17-10. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3 with a starting field position like that. 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball into the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays. Make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Here's Campbell. He stiff arms him. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Newton. That's complete to Sharp. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man is shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. Newton to throw. He'll let this go for the end zone. And oh, it'll be intercepted. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
Pass interference. Defense.
So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Second down and goal. Newton flushed out right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
That's good decision-making right there. Understood down and distance. Knew it wasn't 3rd down, and he still had another opportunity to earn the 1st down. Good job throwing it away and avoiding an interception.
They'll run. It's Campbell. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st-and-goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And As you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And Mahomes misfires again, and it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. Not the best of plays there as a quarterback. You're right-handed, rolling left, trying to throw it that far downfield.
I remember a coach of mine saying, son, that's the equivalent of trying to get the car keys out of your pocket with your opposite hand while you're trying to run. You just can't do it.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the third quarter. And we're back now in Charlotte. It's the Texans in control of the football and leading this game as well as we start the fourth. From the 29, Newton. He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Texans use the big play to extend their fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams and sub-packages and even on the practice squad. But he's really made an impact on this defense, and he comes up with the interception there.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll hand this to Campbell, running right. And he's going to be met at about the 43.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Dante Jackson picks it. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Panther touchdown. This game's still fairly well in hand, but I think now you go conservative, don't you? Go into your shell and just run the football?
I think you have to, but you also have to tell your backs, make sure you're really protecting the football because you're going to run into a stacked defensive front, which is why they were throwing the football before, trying to make sure they didn't get their backs, really beat up in that situation. Now, good luck to them.
And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And the pick 6 we just saw makes things a little more interesting. Still, though, a 2-possession game. as they control their destiny in this fourth quarter. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And this one also slowly developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage. But not much more than that.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner. There's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. On the run, it's Campbell. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Calling a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off.
Delay of game, offense.
That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Houston. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good kick that time, but also a pretty good 15-yard return. And it will be the Panthers' ball, 1st and 10. Patrick Mahomes in the offense. Down by 10. 65 seconds remaining. They'll need a score here and also likely an onside kick recovery. But first things first. 1st and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. It's caught at the 10. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. They certainly made quick work of that, ultra-quick work. One of the fastest drives you'll ever see, just one play resulting in the touchdown. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
For most people, the excitement of the kickoff return is to see a long one that goes back in the opposite direction. But for the guys covering it, it's being able to stop them deep in their own territory. How about that incredible form tackle right there? Shoulder in the ball carrier, and down he goes.
And they'll get him down here at the 23.
Holding, offense.
Titus Howard, right tackle, the man flagged for that one. They go up the middle with Campbell. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Panthers. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. And that is a tough pill to swallow. All they had to do, Charles, keep the ball, work this clock.
The only way for the defense to win was to force the fumble. And they did. Took it the other way for a score. And now, if you're the offensive team, it will take a miracle, perhaps, to win this ball game.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Houston set to take over. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't.
He forces one there. It's a potential dagger as it's intercepted. And the Panthers have just about sewn up this football game. Well, you knew you had to take some chances here with the clock winding down, needing a touchdown to win it, and that one might have just sealed their fate.
Yeah, and that's the nature of the 2-minute drill. The offense trying to go downfield and make their plays. But defenses, they're sitting back watching everything that they do, but not too far back. They want to be in position to make a play on the ball, and that they did.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. Second down, another carry for Jackson. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. It's caught by Jackson. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. Now Sanders. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They're looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to...
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. When you talk about making winning plays, that is a winning play at this stage of the game. To come up with that interception, huge.
I like how you identified that because most people think winning plays are the offense trying to get it done. In this case, nursing a lead, they found a way to make a play on that side of the ball and maybe finish things off.
From a defensive perspective, though, I think maybe they're saying, hey, we did what we needed to do, kept this a one-score game.
Yeah, without a doubt, because they were able to bleed some time off the clock, right? Put themselves in a good position, but it's not out of reach yet, okay? Being able to hold them to a field goal means that they do have a chance to come back and win this game.
And the effort snuffed out. The Texans' hands team recovers. What a thrilling 4th quarter this one was. Well, at least I guess if you're cheering for the winning side, an outstanding comeback, though, that saw them completely take control and change the outcome of this game.
Yeah, I'm not sure how many of us saw that coming, the way that they were playing and having the lead after 3 quarters. A little bit of a stunning ending because it wasn't just a one-touchdown swing. It was a multiple touchdown swing for them to end up losing that ball game. Give credit where credit is due. They came off the pace and got it done.